While magnetic mechanics are nothing new to video games, few are built entirely around them. Titles like Magnetis and Alien with a Magnet have attempted to focus on them and did so with somewhat success. However, in this video, we're going to be taking a look at one that brings it to the world of platforming with Magnetic by Nature.
Let's see here. Ooh. Oh my.
Magnetic by Nature was developed thanks to a successful Kickstarter by Team Triple Slash and is now available on Steam, Ouya, and the Humble Store for $9.99. The game is a puzzle platformer. Players are tasked with getting from A to B in a multitude of levels by utilizing the game's main mechanic. What is that mechanic? Well, it's magnetism. Hence the name of the game. In Magnetic by Nature, you play as a little robot dude who appears to be the only functioning machine in a world of scrap metal. How did you get your magnetic powers? Who knows? You just gotta have them. After finding another robot and realizing that it reacts to the nearby flora, it's up to you to save the machines by collecting as many flowers as you can possibly get your non-existent hands on. And that's it for any kind of story. You only get one cinematic in the whole game outside of the credits, which is actually a bit of a shame. Magnetic by Nature is nothing if not a looker, and it would have been great to see more cinematics in the same style as this one, but I digress. It does the job in setting up some kind of goal for you to achieve before dropping you into the hub world and never to be seen again. Seriously, the cinematic only plays the first time you open the game. I haven't been able to figure out how to watch it a second time. The game is broken up into 4 worlds, with an unlockable 5th world for being the main game. Each world has its own separate theme, and it consists of 25 levels for a total of 100 main game levels, and additional 20 super difficult unlockable ones. While that may seem like an intimidating amount of levels, Magnetic by Nature is similar in fashion to a game like Super Meat Boy, in the fact that its levels are bite-sized manageable chunks instead of face-grinding marathons. According to Steam, I've spent 3 hours with the game so far, and I've been able to beat all 4 main worlds of the game. Not only are the levels pretty short, but each one has a collectible to find, focuses on the momentum of your character, and is filled with hazards that'll kill you in one hit. Also, each level has a timer and online leaderboards as well as no checkpoints. So, if you die at all, you have to restart the level and re-grab any collectibles you may have gotten previously. Thankfully, you have infinite lives, so you only have to replay the current level you're stuck on. Each world has to be completed in order, and you can only unlock the next level by completing the current one. Levels also can have multiple secrets, and sometimes even lead to other levels with more collectibles to grab. Finishing a level will grant you a flower and one step towards unlocking the next world, but collectibles don't really seem to have a purpose. The super difficult world is unlocked just by beating the main game, and the same goes for speedrun mode, a mode that lets you play through the entire game all at once and keeps track of your overall time. You can also unlock a second speedrun mode by finishing the super difficult world, but there's no evidence that collectibles are used for anything but completion percentage on your save file. To me, this doesn't make me feel like they're worth the time to actually seek out and collect, and I usually only grab them when it's convenient or on the way to the exit. As I said before, the gameplay is entirely focused on momentum. Each level is a trial in controlling your speed, so you move fast when you want to, and don't when you don't. Magnets are the big thing behind the game. Players can use specific colored points to push or pull themselves around. These points can vary widely from triangles that are stuck in walls that can only do one thing to moving orbs that can do both, and even orbs that you have to move around with you. Your magneticism isn't instant, nor is it all that powerful. You've constantly got to be aware of your speed, since points can quickly get out of your range, causing you to go flying off into a face full of saw blades. This mechanic doesn't change at all through the whole game, and even though you only have to worry about 2 hazards, water and saws, the game never really feels all that repetitive. Each level is a puzzle as to when to attract, when to repel, and how to get through the level in the quickest time possible. It's much more interesting than the pushing boxes and button pressing you get from 99.999999999999999999999% of all other puzzle platformers, although there is a little bit of button pressing here and there. Just like with the opening cinematic, the artwork in every level is just beautiful to look at. Be it a cave, a city, swampland, or a ruin, everything is always pleasing to the eye, except for the super difficult unlockable World 5, which just makes my eyes bleed looking at it. Ugh. For the most part, it's easy to distinguish the background from the actual ground you can interact with, but I did have some difficulty when it came to the city levels, since the background buildings are just about the same color as the actual floor. The game also has some frame rate issues, where its standard 60 FPS will drop down to around 30 for absolutely no reason whatsoever. These frame rate drops seem to happen randomly. They usually only last for a moment or two before things pick back up. They are very, very distracting though. They can easily throw me off of what I'm doing in the level when I'm randomly flying through the air at high speed, only for my frames to drop and everything to move a lot slower. Hopefully Team Triple Slash will be able to easily fix this with a patch sometime soon, but as of right now, it is still a problem. The game also has full controller and native Xbox 360 controller support. Personally, I played the game entirely with a keyboard and mouse, and it seemed to work out just fine. But I was annoyed to find that the prompts only show the Xbox 360 buttons, so I had to guess at what key did what in the menus. You can customize your keys in the game's launcher since it's a Unity game, so that's always nice to see. Overall, I really enjoyed my time with Magnetic by Nature, and the game has come a long way from its original Xbox Arcade version. If you've ever played Magnetic by Nature Awakening, then you definitely need to check this new version out. It's got everything that made that game good, and removes everything that didn't fit, which means no more scrolling levels, as those things were a freaking nightmare. Team Triple Slash has really come out strong with this first title, and there's nothing in particular I don't like about it. Its artwork's great, its music does a fantastic job of filling the atmosphere, and its level design is challenging without being too frustrating. Although, whoever made the highest castle floor level is a downright horrible person. I'm just going to say that right now. The only thing this game is missing is more semblance of a story to help tie all of the aspects together. I was highly surprised to find at the end of the last level that the game just cuts to credits without any kind of closure or anything. Even without much in the way of story, it's still a great game and completely worth the price. You can pick it up for $9.99 on Steam, Ouya, and the Humble Store. You can also buy the soundtrack separately on Steam for $3.99 or in a bundle with the game for $12.99. The Humble Store deals are a bit strange, as you can purchase the base game, but you can also buy an Ultimate Edition that will give you access to some kind of unreleased DLC when it does finally get released. There's no word on what this DLC is, nor when it'll be released, or at what price, so it's weird to see that this deal would already be out, instead of waiting for the DLC to be released, and then having the deal. Well, that's all I got for you guys today, so please let me know what you think about the game or this video in the comment section. I'm Mega Pie Man, and I'll talk to you guys later. The gameplay is pretty much exactly the same as it was in the original title. You explore the dark depths from an isometric perspective, shoot enemies while searching for items, upgrades, and secrets. Each level is randomized, and each room is randomized as to what will be in it. This means that